Hi everyone, yewo yewo, welcome back. My name is Mwale Gilbert, and always exciting and a pleasure for me to continue sharing some of these thoughts and some of the lessons that I've been able to get. Now, one of the areas that I have found interesting, is in my journey of, problem solving and being able to actually build solutions. And as a farm CEO, this is something that you also need to think about. And sometimes we wonder, like, how can you be able to, engage in, solving problems? And I think where you could actually do this is around when you are actually defining what your vision is. So when we are looking at a strategic plan, one of the key things in there is what you call a vision. And most times we love to bring out the vision as, being the number one supplier or the biggest provider of the following items, things like that. If it's us that are in agriculture, then we are saying I want to be the number one producer of, let's say, lettuce or cabbages, cucumbers, things like that. Or the number one provider of pork or chickens, chicken meat. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be number one, and I think that should be at the back of your mind that that's what you want to be. But if you target that, a lot of times you may have a lot of challenges because you will be literally blinded by just the desire to compete with people, and you may not even know what you're competing about. For you, the idea is just need to be number one at what, like number one doing what, so that's where my problem comes, with the idea of wanting to be number one, is that sometimes you don't even know exactly what you are really solving. What's the problem that you are actually solving? So if we're going to shift this a little bit and solve this problem better, or actually, look at this issue of vision from the right perspective, one of the people that actually did a good explanation around this is, Dr. Rosias, is that, Siatuambo to be specific, is that he has strongly alluded over some of these issues, like, refrain from looking at looking at your business from the angle of just competing with other people. How can you do what you do and solve the problems that your clients actually have to the best of your abilities? And I believe that as you do that, your clients will see you as a person of interest, person of choice. And as they pick you as a person of choice, then they'll pay you, their top dollar or top kwacha, whatever it is. And then that will help you, rise in terms of how much money you're making, but also become the organization of choice. Why? Because at the beginning, you set out to solve their problems as your client. So farm CEOs, what kind of clients do we usually work with? So let's give an example. You have consumers, direct consumers. So you have got a company, you have got a business that does, it's a B to C. So your business is the first B there is your farm business, and let's say you're producing broilers, or you're producing you're keeping layers and you're producing eggs, or you are growing vegetables and you're producing whatever the vegetable is, green pepper, red pepper, the fruit itself, and you are actually selling it off as so. Now, at that point, the question is, who are you selling to? So I said B to C. So the C there is a direct consumer, meaning that the person who's actually going to go and cook this thing and eat it. You're not selling it to a middle person, you're selling it direct to a consumer. So if that is the case, you're selling direct to a consumer, it means that you as a farm CEO need to develop a tendency of what is called, collection of feedback. You need to get feedback so that you know how better to serve these consumers that are buying from you. So some of us, what we do is that we put our harvest into our vehicle, and we go at a particular spot which is busy. We open our rooftop, our boot, and then people come to buy our chickens, come to buy our vegetables, tomatoes, whatever it is from there. Or others, what we do is that we actually tell our neighbors and people around to actually come to your farm and actually buy from you. Either ways, you are selling to a consumer directly at the retail price. So you are retailing, to be specific. So you manufactured or you produced this chicken, and now you are retailing directly to a consumer. For that matter, you need to learn what troubles that consumer in relation to suppliers like you. So you have to ask them a question. If 10 of them, 30 of them came to your vehicle to come and buy things from you, ask them. If they came to your farm to come and buy your green maize, ask them a question. Hey, thank you very much for buying from me. I'm going to give you a discount actually, but I just need your answer. Number one, what do you like about what I do? What do you like about how we produce this product that you are always coming to buy from us? And then give me 2 or 3 things that you like, and then let them tell you. And then ask them also, what do they wish you could do better? Now, most of us, that's the part we don't like. We don't like hearing, because you don't want to be told that maybe, for example, they're going to complain about the price. For you want to hide behind that. Maybe they're going to complain about the size of your chickens or the size of your produce. One of my former clients actually did mention to me about this, and he was happy because here's what happened for him. He indicated that when he asked about his green maize, the client told him to say, the cobs you have given us are actually very small. And they asked him, what seed variety are you using? And he indicated, and they told him to say, please, sir, the next time you're doing this, kindly use this other kind of variety. And surely, when he looked at that variety, he found that it actually produces bigger cobs. And that is what it is. Your job is to solve your client's problem. So, by him getting the right variety that they like, he is now solving. Because look, who are you farming for as a farm CEO? Who are you farming for? Is it to satisfy yourself or to satisfy your client? You want the money from the product. They are the ones that want the thing you're growing. So why are you growing that thing you're growing to your taste and not their taste? So your job is to find ways and means of doing farming that actually satisfies your customer while you are able to sell and make profit. And if you find that these 2 things are not achievable while satisfying your client fully, then you know that you are actually in the wrong value chain. Maybe you should shift away from that value chain. If you find that while trying to satisfy your client fully, and then at the same time making profit or making sales and profit, and you find that these 2 are not matching properly, then you need to interrogate. Maybe your expenses are high. Maybe you are not producing enough at the right scale to be able to have the right amount of money coming back to you. But if you completely find that you have really reduced your costs and you are selling a lot, but your margins are just terrible, and you just can't manage, then change the value chain to a value chain that will actually maybe higher cash crops, fast moving, meat products that fetch a higher price, that fetch higher margin. Find out which ones those are and get in there, because what you want to do is you want to solve problems that your clients are having, and you should be asking them. Marketeers, ask them, what problem do they have? They will tell you they have a problem with your pricing. They want lower prices. So, and this is why people complain about the Chinese, coming in and they flood the market. When you go and sell things to the marketeers, they come with a big truck. I don't know, I've never seen this, but I'm pretty sure it happens. And I understand why. Because they have figured out that their client wants cheap items. So they are going to find a way of growing their chickens the biggest. That's what is called innovation. I don't know what they're doing. You go on about saying they are, feeding them all sorts of weird things. Were you there? Have you seen them do that? Now, if you have, then well and good. At least you have proof. But if you haven't, I think you don't have the right to do that. You are refusing to be innovative. You are refusing to think through, so that you can satisfy the problems of your customers. And now when someone else is doing that, you want to call them a fraud. What are you doing? What are you doing to improve your product? Make it, a bigger product if your clients are asking for that. Make it last longer on the shelf if your clients are asking for that. The one that solves the problem of their customer, the farmer that solves the problem of the people that come to buy things from them directly as consumers, marketeers, retail stores, chain stores. If you solve their problem, they'll make you their choice partner because you are willing to deal with their stress and their challenges and issues. We as farm CEOs, our tendency is to only look at our problems. What are the challenges I have? I am failing to find market. I'm failing to find, this and that and that and that. A lot of several things that we're failing to find. But what kind of problems do your clients have with people like you? When you answer that question, is the time you will begin to find market very easily, because the ones that are buying from you will not go anywhere, because now they know that you actually solve their problems, not just want to solve your problem, your money problem. So you have a money problem and then they should buy from you so you can make money. No, that is not why businesses exist. That is not why a farm should exist. We should exist as a farm because we want to solve a food crisis situation, and while solving that food security issue, we should then make money on top of that. So that being the case, if you are aligned to that motto, then what you would do is that you want to understand what do your clients have, what challenges do your clients have with people like you, with farms like yours. And when you answer those questions, start solving them categorically, and your clients will love you. And that is how you do it with business, because it's solving problems. So you go looking for problems. What problems are they having? Any challenge, because any challenge they have with people like you is a new opportunity for you to make extra money. So every time they tell you, so you need to hear it like this in your mind. Every time a client gives you a feedback that is critiquing you, for example, they tell you to say, we find it that it's very difficult to buy your products. Why? Because we always have to come to your farm to collect the chickens, to collect the vegetables and things like that. Now it looks nice for you because they follow you, but have you asked them whether they like it? Do they find it comfortable? The transport movement there, are they okay with it? If you find that they are not okay, there are some people who are okay with it. They actually like coming to your farm because they want to see what you're doing. But there are others who don't want to. They wish differently. They wish you could actually have brought those things to them. So why haven't you figured out the mathematics that makes sense for you to actually take those things to them? Because the day that somebody else will come and bring those things to them, bye-bye to your farm selling to them. So it's not witchcraft. Or any that foreigners are doing all sorts of weird things. Maybe they are. I don't know. But so do you. You also don't know. You are speculating. Now let's do the real thing. Solve the problems of your customers. And each problem you solve leads you to the opportunity to making more money. Thank you very much. We meet next time.